Okay, hello everybody. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. My name is Ian, and I am broadcasting live tonight from Starship Studios in Southwest Florida. And both my co-hosts are completely out tonight, so it's just me for now anyway. A couple things going on tonight that we're going to talk about in depth here in just a few minutes, but let's go ahead and get right into the grid. Looks like we've got a couple things going on here. We've got information about the escaped Georgia inmate there on the upper left. The upper center is the Rockefeller Center tree lighting. That is a live view of that from the crowd there. Upper right is the protest that's not a protest. Every night, same thing. This is the protest. It's one guy standing out there with a sign. Apparently this one guy is really upset about ICE. He's really not happy about them doing their job. So he goes out every night, and then all these YouTubers go out there and swarm around him because he's the only story that there really is out there. It's kind of weird, really. But, you know, hey, to each his own, man. You know? All right, the other thing right now that I want to go ahead and get into right away is we've got a huge opening going on VHF right now. I don't know who's out there and what. I've got my M2500 here, my 50-watt mil-spec radio. I've got it all set up right now for 2-meter call. And I'm on my 40-foot Comet G9. And I'm going to try here in just a minute to call CQ and see if we hear anybody. I don't have the radio wired into the computer. That's the only problem. But we can still, you'll still mostly be able to hear them. I'll turn it way up. I'm going to get all these radios. What I'm going to do is I'm putting in a nice set of speakers, and I'm going to put in a mini board, and I'm going to run my 2 HFs and my 3 or 4 VHFs and my 2-meter all mode. I'm going to run them all in there separately, and that way I can turn up and down which radio I want to listen to, and will also feed the computer as well. I can buy a board that will also feed the computer with an output source, plus a studio speakers as an output source. And so that's probably what I'm going to do. A lot of guys do that because there's just so many radios in here. They all have a speaker, and I mean, you can see I've got a bunch of Motorola speakers hanging up here already. But the truth is, those Motorola speakers aren't good on these cheaper radios. They could eventually burn out the little audio whatever processor in there. I've had it happen only once, but I've also read about it happening. It does happen. All right, so this is what they call a band opening. And you can see here when I hover over it, these are all the different signals that they've been able to see. People down here, this person down here on Key West was able to hear stations up in Mobile, Alabama, and Key West, and all the way over to Slidell, Mississippi. Okay, and here, this station here, this is, matter of fact, this is the NI4CE station right down the road here. Let me see if I can get it to come back now. There it is, NI4CE10. That's right down the road here at Babcock Ranch. And you can see they heard somebody way up here in central Alabama. No, I'm sorry, upstate Louisiana. How about that? And when I say they, these are machines that are listening for other machines. But this is a great indicator that the band is wide open. So I figured I would use this as an opportunity. Let's try this. CQ 2 meters. CQ 2 meters. Kilo Oscar 4. Echo Foxtrot Sierra. KO4 EFS calling CQ on 2 meters. This radio, 2 meters, VHF, 146 megahertz.
Kilo Oscar 4, K4ADR, Naples.
I could have sworn I heard somebody call CQ. Good evening from Kilo Bravo 0, Victor Lima Alpha.
Now, I heard 2 different stations, damn it. See, when the band opens like this, everybody can hear everybody. Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Foxtrot Sierra, calling the station in Naples. Can you give me your call sign again?
Kilo 4, Alpha Delta Romeo 4.
Kilo 4, Alpha Delta Romeo. Thanks for coming back. We're actually live on YouTube here. I'm doing a little demonstration on Simplex Radio. There's a huge band opening right now between northern Louisiana and Key West.
Roger, roger. Yep, I've been hearing some all night. I actually worked North Carolina this morning on 146.520.
What is your location? What is your location? What is your communication?
See, there's other stations talking on here.
Did you copy that? K4ADR, Naples.
Yeah, K4ADR, there's other stations trying to contact each other north of here. I do have you in the log. It's good talking to you, though. I do appreciate it. I got you 5959 here in North Fort Myers, north of the Caloosahatchee.
Roger, roger. All right, have fun. K4ADR.
All right, KO4 EFS standing by. He's in Naples, probably 50 miles from here. So that's what's really cool about the whole when the band opens up. See, each band opens up for different reasons, okay? When it comes to 70 centimeters and 2 meters.
KR4 EFS K0 TND Sarasota.
K0 TND. Is that K0 TND? This is KO4 EFS. Go ahead.
I heard you out there. I don't know if you were making contact, but I don't know, heard a whole bunch of people at one time, so waited for a minute of silence to give you a call back.
Yep, I'm on the YouTube channel. I do a show every night at 9, and a lot of times I do demonstrate different things, and I'm showing on my channel right now the huge band opening that's going on, and it looks like it's open all around the southeast United States right now.
Oh, yeah, Roger. I see that on the map here. Tell me about your YouTube channel. You primarily do simplex, or you're mostly into HF? Because obviously band openings aren't as frequent.
No, I love 6 and I love 2, but I do a lot of HF. I just bought a FT710, and I do a YouTube channel. A lot of what I do is ham radio. A lot of what I do is science, and I also do general news and breaking news and stuff. So it's kind of a big thing. And I just, when I saw this band opening, I just literally had to hook the radio up and see who I could get on 2 meter. Are you in, where, well, let me see where you're at. Where are you at?
Sarasota. It's about 40 miles, 40 south of Tampa. Yeah, I'm on Fruitville and I-75 area.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm in North Fort Myers, just north of the Caloosahatchee here, off of State Road 78 Bayshore, and so we're probably a good 50 miles or so. I just talked to somebody in Naples the other way, about 50 miles. I'm on a Comet GP9 at 40 feet.
Yeah, about the same here. I'm about GP9 at about 50 feet.
You are pretty much full quieting in here to the shack.
Yeah, same here. You're pegging the meter. I've an FT400 and yeah, the Yaesu 400. It's pretty much pegging the meter. I don't know what that means, but I'd say it has 9 plus.
Sounding good in Naples.
KF4OUP and Cape Coral. I heard somebody else.
Listen to everybody. This is great.
K0TND.
Yeah, K0TV, I think. Yeah, you got a good signal in the Naples. K4ADR.
By the way, I'm logging these in my logbook.
K4ADR. Yeah, appreciate it. You guys are sounding good in Cape Coral. KF4OUP.
They're making it down here.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. This is KF4OUP and Cape Coral. You guys are sounding terrific this way. KR4EFS, you still in there?
Yeah, I'm still here. We're listening to all the traffic. We're on. I'm going to go ahead and back out and clear. It's been good talking to everybody. I will be standing by. I may try back in a little while. We are on live right now, YouTube at Starship Adventures. That's YouTube at Starship Adventures. I'm going to go ahead and back out and let you guys talk. This is a huge opening, so enjoy. KO4 EFS, standing by on the side.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, I'll look up your YouTube channel, Starship Adventures. 73 K0TND on the side.
There we go. All right, so there you go, guys. Cape Coral, Naples, East Naples.
Arkansas.
Good evening to everybody on the band opening. Kilo Bravo 0, Victor Lima Alpha, Sumter.
I couldn't hear where he said Sumter. I hope you guys can hear that okay. Can you hear the radio?
KF4OUP here in Cape Coral, Florida. Over.
This is KA1WBE in Bradenton.
He's in Bradenton. That's 70 miles from here. We're
I
on.
don't know if anybody has sideband, but Arkansas and Louisiana is coming in, so I was just working them on 2-meter sideband. This is KA1WBE.
He says on 2-meter sideband, he's getting Arkansas and Tennessee. And that's the second person to say that. I have my 2-meter sideband over here, but it's not hooked up. I'm not going to try to do it here during the show.
Cape Coral, Florida.
Oh, good. I'm glad you guys can hear it. Let's follow this for a few minutes. Daddy Kitty's interested. He got up for this and came all the way over. By the way, the radio I'm using is a 25-year-old radio. It's a Yaesu M2500 mil-spec. Mil-spec meaning it was originally spec'd for the military. And it is a full 50-watt radio. But the neat thing about this radio is I bought it for $20 at that last Hamfest I went to. $20. Threw it in the car. Hooked it up the next day. And I've been using it ever since. I love these. I've got 3 of them. The other 2, the pots are all dirty. The displays are going out. They're in bad shape. They've been used a lot. Right now I'm using them for feeds online. This one is in really good shape. I mean, like almost out of the box, not quite. But man, for a 25-year-old radio, so that's now become my shack base radio because I can program that with the dial. It doesn't have some very difficult thing that takes a long time to figure out. If I want to program a repeater into that, I can actually do it pretty quick. It also does hold 16 channels. It's a 25-year-old radio. They were mounting these in Humvees and shit. This one is a ham radio, but it's the military spec, which is it means you're getting a fairly tough radio. It's not bad. Even the mic is in really good shape. I question whether the mic, this thing may have sat in a box for 20 years, you know, and then someone pulled it out and used it as a base radio for a year and put it back in the box. That's what it looks like. The mic, normally the mics go bad on these Yaesus and these ICOMs. I don't know what it is. Even on my brand new radio here, the mic's okay. It's okay. They both have a decent weight. Some of these ham radio mics are cheap ass shit, and the wire will literally rot off of it after about 10 or 15 years of sitting in your shack. But this one, perfect condition. I left the $20 price tag on top. Heath said, "Oh, I'd talk him down. I said, "Heath, that radio is worth every penny of that $20, and I just don't feel good about that." And I didn't do it. I handed the man $20. Oh, that's pretty cool though. All right, so we do got a little band opening going on. We'll leave this on here for a little while and see if we hear anybody. Daddy Kitty, my lord, what? Can we schedule this for a better time? Maybe. I'm busy. I'm really busy. Yeah, I'm doing the show. Yeah. Look at that band opening, guys. Look at this freaking thing. It's like a monster taking over the earth, starting in West Palm. All these stations down here in South Florida, even this one right by my house, picking up stations all over the southeast, all the way up. My cabin's right here. So, I mean, there's a chance if I was on my mountain with a Yagi pointed this way, and I had a radio here with a Yagi pointing that way, both at 60 or 70 feet, there's a chance that I could talk to myself. And here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but for those that are not radio enthusiasts, let me explain something real quick. There's different kinds of radio propagation, okay? Radio propagates along the ground, like in a straight line, okay? It can also skip. It can also go into the ionosphere. It can also reflect off of thermal layers in the atmosphere. There's many different ways that radio waves can travel. Each band is affected by different things. For instance, 2 meter, which is what we're on now, VHF, that's that big red splotch that you see right there. I'll put the radar back up here for sure. That shows you basically what that is showing you is that at anything inside that red area, if you aim your antenna especially, or if you turn your power up, you can probably talk to other people within that same red area. And that's a huge opening that's going on right now. I love chasing openings. Now, in VHF, what causes the opening? It's normally caused by
Kilo 52, Kilo 0 Tango, November Delta, monitoring Sarasota.
Sarasota. He is 50,
K4
60,
AM,
50 miles away.
Yeah, this is K4GEO.
This is ground wave, meaning that the wave comes out of my antenna and it goes to your antenna. There's no bullshit in the middle.
K4 AM, this is K4GEO.
But sometimes thermal layers set up in the atmosphere, and when that happens, it reflects VHF signals back down to the earth. The general hop is about 100 miles. But this phenomenon is strange, and it can do all kinds of neat stuff. Anyway, we use something called APRS, or Automatic Packet Radio System. We use that basically in order to send signals between thousands of stations all over the country, and we measure the strength that we're receiving each of those signals around the country. And as we do that, we build this map that you just saw a few minutes ago, and I'll put back up in a minute. That map is built by when a Key West station can hear a station in Alabama, it draws a red thing, you know, and then it starts putting in other stations that it can hear, and everything starts populating, and next thing you know, we've got a big huge band opening on VHF. Does this mean my big radio is going to work better? Nope, has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with it. VHF is a much longer wave than HF, and it's affected by different things. This opening is being caused by thermal layers in the atmosphere, up at the layers where our weather would normally be, and maybe a little higher, okay? But not the ionosphere, okay? Then we have 6 meters and 10 meters. 6 meters, known as the magic band. That's 50 megahertz, all the way down to about 25 megahertz. That whole area is affected by a phenomenon that is different than tropospheric ducting. It's not thermal layers like tropospheric ducting. This is caused by reflective, reflective areas that propagate from east to west across the globe. And you can track them using PSK reporter. And you can aim your beam, which I have my 6 meter beam up right now. I never took it down after 6 meter season. You can aim your beam at these crossroads where these reflective areas are, and your 6 meter beam will reflect down 700 or 800 or 900 miles away, and you can have a crystal clear conversation with somebody at 50 megahertz that's very far away. That's magic band, okay? That's different than tropospheric ducting. Got magic banding, and then you've got HF, which is the ionosphere, and that's where we look mostly for the sun. We look at, are we in a geomagnetic storm? When we're in a storm, our deflector shield, basically the way it works, the same thing that's keeping all the bad energy out, our deflector shield, if you will, is kind of the same thing that's reflecting our radio waves back down to Earth again, so that we can talk to people around the world, radio to radio. I think that's really cool. I've already talked to people in 4 different countries, voice, on my new radio. And I'm telling you, it's really cool. When the sun, when we have a real high solar flux index, but yet the K meter goes down, which means that everything calms down. A lot of energy, but everything calms down. You can get the perfect environment, and that HF signal will propagate all the way around the world. There's instances where the atmosphere is really good globally, and people have pointed their tower to the east and listened to themselves come back in the west. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that ozone layer that was supposed to be like going away, it's doing great. Peanut butter whiskey. Let's see here. I've heard about peanut butter whiskey. I don't know. I don't drink. All right, so I know for a lot of you this doesn't interest you, so we're going to move on to other things. Again, if you are in the southeast United States and you're a ham radio operator, get on 2 meter call. If you call me, I will answer you. I'm monitoring. I've got a 40 feet Comet GP9, and I'm monitoring. I got 50 watts to throw. Let's see if we can talk. Anybody in the southeast, anybody that you see, and this is growing. This thing is still growing. Anybody that you see in this red area here, give me a call on 2 meter call. See if we can talk to each other. I'm literally monitoring the radio. I made several contacts earlier and logged them in my logbook while I was right here on the air. So that was pretty cool. All right, so as far as what we've got up top, we've got the news in the upper left. We've got the Rockefeller Center tree lighting in the center. I don't know why they won't just turn the damn thing on. Flip the switch. And then on the right, we've got protests. Actually, it looks like 5 cameramen, 5 cops, and 1 guy holding a sign. But we'll call it a protest if that makes everybody feel better. A protest in front of the ICE detention facility in Portland, Oregon. And then above me here, I don't know what the hell we got. We got some religious something going on in there. This one over here, the one above my microphone over here, that one is downtown Portland. You can see the snow on the ground. But I don't know exactly what's going on there. Tonight for our feature, We are going to talk a little bit about the sunspot clusters that we have on the sun, because those are big and they're coming around. They're going to be directly facing us in a couple of days. Despite that, this has nothing to do with those sunspots. We're in a geomagnetic storm right now. In fact, if you're in the northern tier states, I suggest you go out about every 30 minutes and take a peek. If you've got a camera that you can leave outside, that you can monitor inside, that's always the best. Even if you have a security camera that you can redirection into the northern sky, security cameras actually do pretty good picking it up, especially if it's a low lux camera and you can force it into day mode and leave it in day mode, which turns off the infrared lighting. And then you can actually see these. When I saw them on my security cameras long before we saw them with the visible eye. And we saw them for a good hour and a half on the security cameras, because the way they absorb light, they actually can see them better than we can with the naked eye, especially when there's a lot of light pollution. So anyway, that's that. We're going to be talking about that later tonight. But this tonight's geomagnetic storm was brought to you by another small sunspot that nobody really thought. It was like the little sunspot that could, and it did. It blew up. And so what happened, this was a couple days ago during the show, I think it was 3 nights ago, during the show, we had that, it was an X8 or 9 that turned X2. It's an X2.0 flare that happened on the sun. It was right as it was coming around on the eastern limb there. It was coming around right there. It blew up right as we could just barely see the edge of it. And once that happened, it hurled some energy out. Most of it was thought to be going the other way, and we weren't going to get much of it. And then later on, this morning, they reissued an update saying, hey, you know, we are going to get some of this. It's not going to be a lot, but because of the we're in this it's a co-rotation region right now, which is where we've got fast solar winds and much slower solar winds, and there is an interface point, and as Earth passes through that interface point, it becomes it creates disturbances in our geomagnetic field and can create auroras. So anyway, right now we're under an aurora alert for high and mid-latitude sky watchers. If you live in high latitudes especially, but possibly even mid-latitudes, after nightfall tonight, you could treat yourself to a seeing. Would you that was my drink. Go bye. Jesus God, they can't just be happy. They have to like knock everything over. Knock my damn drink over. Spill my drink on my wallet. That's, you know, if you're going to spill it on my wallet, or maybe one of my radios. That's always good. Yeah. Dingleberry. All right. So anyway, right now it's fluctuating between G0 and G3, which means that if it gets up to G3, you could see that easily all along the northern tier states, meaning that if your state is close to or touches Canada, you could see it, and of course Alaska. So and of course I know we have some Canadian viewers as well, but anyway, you could see something pretty easily tonight in Canada, I would think. Of course, up there, it's not as big a deal as it is for the rest of us down here. All right, so levels could get all the way up to G3, which is strong. G3 does affect voltage corrections or required in power systems, but false alarms and things like that. But generally, no big deal for power systems. It does cause surface charging on spacecraft and on satellite components. It also increases drag on low orbit satellites, and corrections may be needed for orientation problems. Intermittent satellite navigation and low frequency radio navigation problems may occur. HF radio may be intermittent, and aurora has been seen as low as Illinois and Oregon, typically about 50 degrees geomagnetic latitude. So, if you are along the line of Illinois and Oregon, which that's quite a bit of people, you can possibly see something tonight. Hey WF, what's up? Yeah, thank you. You're always welcome. Yeah. I don't even think it's straight, but that's okay. At least, hopefully some asshole won't burn it down like they did the Fox tree a few years ago. So anyway, right now we're in this co-rotating interaction region. And if you guys have never heard of this before, what it basically is, a co-rotating interaction region, it's a reoccurring plasma structure in the heliospheric formed, and I don't know how to explain it. I'm trying to put this in better terms here. Basically, it's when faster wind streams interact with slower wind streams. And as that happens, you get this rub patch in the middle, like a briar patch. And when the Earth goes through these briar patches, it tends to manipulate our magnetic field. And so that's going on right now. But as this happened, as we approached this co-interactive region, we also had a glancing blow from that sunspot that exploded 3 days ago. So that was probably gathered up a little bit, and that's why we've already seen it go as high as G3, and it could go back up that high again. So I'm going to take a look right now and see where we're at on the NOAA Space Weather Prediction page, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in for you guys that don't have it. Basically right now, during the last 24 hours, we had a G3. It got that high. Right now, we don't have anything going on, but they are forecasting a G2 overnight tonight. So again, pretty good chance of something going on. This is ultimately caused by wind streams. The energy comes from the sun, mostly from coronal holes. And there's a big ass fat coronal hole right now. That's scientific, by the way. Big fat ass coronal hole. Alright, so anyway, as far as the weather tonight, and we'll get back to all this, there's really, I mean, that's what there is. Until one of these sunspots explode, it is what it is. But we do still have that big complex of sunspots coming across that we had last night. Same thing. We kind of already knew what was going to happen. If you take a look at the radar, what do you notice? Yep, it's typical. This is what happens as we get into winter. We don't get a lot of severe weather anymore. We start getting more, just snowstorms and things like that. And as we get into winter, the tornado threat drops down to almost nothing. But remember, I want you guys to remember something. March, April, May, and early June is tornado season. That's what they call long track season. That's when we'll be in here every night chasing tornadoes. It's an exciting time of year, and we'll be here to cover it. Just like hurricane season normally is an exciting time of year. This last year we had one hurricane basically. Yeah, it could be good. Let me see here. Let me see what we're at right now in the solar flux. Solar flux is up to 209, it looks like. 209. But the K is at a 4. With the K at a 4, you're in an active geomagnetic field. And right now, according to, I need to pull this up to where, damn it. I need to pull this up to where I can put this on the screen so we can all see it. I don't know how to do it without building it. I can't build it tonight, so. Let me see if I can just pull. Maybe I can do it this way. Let me try something. Hold on, guys. Just give me a second here. Nope, that's a slideshow. That ain't gonna work. Hey, that might work. Hold on, guys. I'm getting there. Shit. Excuse my French. I'm going to set this up to where it's always available with one click. Yeah, I knew it. I screwed my radar up. Damn it. Don't you love producing on the fly? What a pain in the ass it is. Alright, so let's go back to here. Oh, you son of a biscuit. Okay, there. I'm going to leave that like that. And I'm going to rename this Solar Report. I may add to this later, but for right now I can just click that and look at that. Isn't that awesome? So basically, you can see there from this that you can see that we're active. What you look for on here is a lot of this stuff is kind of gibberish, but here's the thing: solar flux, the higher the better. When it gets down under 100, HF radio doesn't really work that well. When you get up over 200, that's a lot of energy up there. HF radio tends to run. But the problem is, as that solar flux goes up, so does your K index, which is, your K index is right here, KIND number 4. K index is 4. The K index tells you how rough it is. 0 is Malander. It's like glass. Like when you get up in the morning to go fishing and it just looks like a sheet of glass out there. That's a 0. And then each number you go up all the way up to 9, the geomagnetic field is more and more and more and more in a state of flux. Okay? So what you want is you want the solar flux index to be high, because that's the power, that's the amount of energy up there. But you want the K index to be low. Right now, see at the bottom it says the geomagnetic field is active. You want that to be quiet in order for HF to work the best. So if you can get a solar flux index of like 250 and then get your K index down to 0, that technically would be a really good condition on the radio. And everybody has different opinions on this, but this is pretty much what I've learned over the years from from all the old timers. And you can see there just past center is that big coronal hole that you can see there. And then over on the left, you can see that the sunspot clusters coming around. If you guys want these, you can put them on your own website. You can build your own website. You can look at do them however you want. Just pull the link out of the image or whatever. Anyway, that's the website. You guys can go to that website, and they offer a lot of different things here. And all they ask is that you just put their little link in there or whatever, which I just did. I just covered my butt there. I like to always let you know where I get my stuff from, and there we go. Solar Data Banners and Widgets, it's called. November 0, November Bravo Hotel. Hey, I'm doing good, Gator. How you doing? It is relaxing, but it's going to be gone soon. We were working on that again. That's the air conditioner, guys. I got a shitload of computers and stuff running in here, and cats and everything else, so the AC has to run. If I turn that off, it climbs easily to 100 degrees in 20 or 30 minutes in here. I had to buy a $1,000 hotel air conditioner to go in here. Yeah, there's other times to get tornadoes. I'm talking about the time when you're most likely to get long track. Oklahoma, Kansas City, North Texas, Mississippi, and even the Dakotas. That whole area there, Missouri, all likely to get stuff in March, April, May, June. And then there's other times as well. And yeah, there's, you can get it pretty much anytime Oklahoma has a risk in December. I believe it. There's other times, but generally speaking, the really bad, the worst ones, the long track tornadoes, are generally springtime events. Okay, don't get rid of it. Well, I need to get rid of it. It's terrible. I want the sound to be clear. Don't you? What do you think, Mama Kitty? You think I should make it clear? Are you not talking? Say hi to everybody. Say hi. They don't understand. The moment I grab them and try to pick them up, they're like, "Oh my God, what are you doing to me?" That's my girl. They like to love my cup over on its side. Yeah, May can be scary in Oklahoma. It's long track season. Yeah. Yeah, Gator, I'm tired tonight too. I'm going to hang out for a while longer, but I'm tired tonight. I've had it. For those joining us late, we are looking at several things tonight. Number one, our solar flux index is up at 209, but the geomagnetic field is active, so HF radio is probably not that good tonight. However, the other thing we are looking at, which is really cool, is we've got a VHF band opening going on right now. And if you are in South Florida, you could probably speak to Alabama right now if you had a decent antenna. At the beginning of the show, I made a couple of contacts on 2-meter call, and then the other guys were all talking to each other as well. I think one or two of them may have joined us on here, I hope. Do I have a day job? Yes, I produced the #1 radio show in Southwest Florida on commercial radio. That's what I do for a living. And then when I get off from that show, I drive home, and I have 1 hour to eat dinner and put this show on the air. And yeah, that's what I do. So yeah, I do. And I also, I service a number of websites and private clients. I also do weekend shows for private clients. And I also make commercials, do voiceovers. And I'm very busy outside of YouTube as well. And so I've been doing YouTube now for 5 years. I have 1,100 videos, over 25,000 subscribers, and 3 million views. And I hope that's good. I don't know what other stats you might want. But there's my stats real quick. There's my resume. I don't do it very often. So there it is. Mom was okay. It does kind of sound like the engine room on a Starship, doesn't it? I need to get that ambient sound from the original series and play that along with it in the background. Mom's doing better. Mom's doing better over the viral thing now, and getting up and getting down, and just very encouraging, very, very encouraging. Yeah, I know there's a couple spots where major tornadoes have literally crossed paths over the years, and it is crazy. Moore, Oklahoma, there's video. There's several good video documentaries on YouTube of the Moore, Oklahoma tornado, one of the worst ever, in the last 150 years. Yeah. Yeah, maybe a little bit, Gator. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, because I've studied that. That was one of the tornadoes I've studied before. It's amazing. Well, it's not that I want to cut down or do this or do that. I need to keep doing all my other stuff, because despite my numbers and everything, I can't live on what I make from YouTube. Some months I make really good money, and I buy things. I buy broadcast laptops, and I buy all kinds of different equipment and cameras and things. Other months I just make a few $100. It's not a lot. It's nothing. So I still have to work.
Zero Tango November Delta monitoring 52 from Sarasota.
He's 50 miles away. It sounds like he's sitting in the room with me. Did you guys hear that? Wow. Oh, well, thank you, Old Fashioned. I appreciate that. I do, yeah. No, I'm a very nostalgic. I'm a very nostalgic guy. And like I said, I ran the honor guard for a while at my department. So, you're lucky you weren't in the middle of that thing.
I'm in Sarasota.
Yeah, we're in a huge band opening right now, as you can see from the screen. An absolutely huge band opening right now.
Yeah, that's correct. What's your call again? Let me put this in.
As far as the weather goes, there's not much going on. We've got a little rain coming through eastern Texas right now, moving into western New Orleans. And that's really it. There's a slight risk of some flooding rain there, but that's really the only thing that's going on.
5.9 here. 5.9, perfect signal.
I can't really hear him, but I think he's.
So Roger, yeah, what a band opening. This is new for me. I've had some band openings where I've gotten to Carolinas from here before, but nothing this extreme. Yeah, matter of fact, let me see, in 11 minutes, I'll be calling the jet on this frequency so he can please hang around. 11:90 calls here, that will be over. A net on 5.2, yeah. I'll give it a wiggle. Yeah, I've been doing it since 1992, man. I've been doing it a very long time. We do 2-meter FM and 10-meter upper side base, over. Yeah, I got you. There's some other traffic in here with you. Do you log on QRZ?
So it's north and don't because there's so many check-ins that come so fast.
They're getting ready to do.
No, I just was interested if you're going to go log on this contact, because I'd love to have this in the books.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to think in there, log in contact, here it is right there. But other than that, you'll have a good Thanksgiving. Fantastic. How about
I'm
yourself?
trying to hear where
We
the
did
other.
a,
He said,
we did a
I've gotten
Thanksgiving
into
in the
North and
park.
South Carolina, but
Oscar
never
Park
this
there.
far.
That was the
He's in Sarasota,
the
Florida.
charcoal,
We're on VHF. This is
turkey
ground
garbage
wave.
can.
This doesn't
It was
use the
actually
ionosphere.
KN4, OKY.
That's Kilo Zero Tango November Delta. Kilo Zero Tango November Delta. K0 TND.
I hear you over there, Eric. KN4, OKY.
Fantastic. Yeah, there's a bunch of other traffic coming in here. A little half of it. I hear half of it. So I'll let you go. I'll see if I can. If there's not too much traffic on this side, I'll check into your net.
I'm hearing you fine there, Eric. Glad you responded right there. That guy, he's talking to somebody, so I might be interfering with him. K4ADR Naples, I'll check in when it comes that time. K4ADR Naples. I copy that. K584 Naples, Florida. This is KN4OKY, Jim, Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh my God. He's crystal clear. He's in Birmingham, Alabama.
I apologize, that I got the call sign wrong. Well, top of the evening to you. Band conditions are really good. Making it a real stretch tonight. Well, Mark, you sounding good right there. This is Jim, about north central Alabama. Just scanning the bands. I talked 608 miles a while ago on digital.
Jesus.
Roger, Roger, KN4OKY.
KN4OKY. KO4EFS, Southwest Florida.
Roger. Well, I had about 3 or 4 come back at me at the same time. Lee, I forget that other one. Try it again. It's KN4OKY, North Central Alabama.
KN4OKY, this is Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Foxtrot Sierra, KO4EFS, Fort Myers, Florida.
4OKY. Good evening to you. KO4SF, Kilo Delta 4, November, with your Lima, Tampa Bay. Roger. Oh, man, I made good contact a while ago, and it was on digital. 608 miles out there in Waco, Texas.
If there's anybody out there that has 2-meter capabilities in the southeastern United States, get on 2-meter call. 146-520.
All right, top of the evening to you, November 4, Alpha Mike Victor. This is KN4OKY.
KN4OKY, Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Foxtrot Sierra, Southwest Florida.
Kilo Echo 4, Alpha Foxtrot Victor. This is KN4OKY.
That's not even close.
North Central Alabama.
I don't think he's calling me because he got 3 of the letters wrong.
Yeah, I'm hearing 4 or 5 at a time right there trying to connect,
Wow.
but I'm trying to filter them out.
We've got a pileup on 2-meter call between here and Alabama. No, this is not on the. This is not on the little portable radio that I bought. No, this is on a $20 used 25-year-old radio called a Yaesu M2500 that I bought for $20 at the Ham Fest and hooked up to my inverter, and I've got it hooked up to my Comet GP9 at 40 feet.
Well, I heard you there in Dixon County, Tennessee. This is KN4OKY. Echo Mike.
I'm here in 5 states right now on ground wave. I mean, you guys. When I get done with this pile up here, I want to get this guy if I can. When I get done with this pile up, I want to explain to you guys why this is such a big deal. This what goes over the ground. The Earth comes up between you and the other station pretty quick.
If I spun around, you can probably hear me even better. But anyway, I'm hearing them all over.
He's starting to fits out now. He was crystal clear earlier. He's fitzing out now. He's probably not going to be able to hear me. I'm putting out 50 watts. That's full power for this radio. I do have a 75 watt radio back there, but I don't think it makes that big a deal. Are they going to light this Christmas tree or what? Let's light this candle.
What was that? KN4TYK. Southampton. Can be fine, but
KN4OKY. This is Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Foxtrot Sierra, Fort Myers, Florida.
a pretty good trip. We had Tango Yankee Kilo. Kilo November 4, Tango Yankee Kilo. Just testing out a new antenna. Oh, 5-9 here as well, South Tampa. Thank you for the cutback. It's a good day to test out the antenna. There's a big band opening going on right now on the meters.
This thing stretches all the way from my house to Huntsville, Alabama.
I used to, when I lived in high rise,
All the way to the Mississippi.
I used to get texts
Past the
all
Mississippi.
Yeah, I've had fun with it too. Ever so good, Kate, Tampa, I'm at Plant City, Florida. See you later. 73, KN4 TYK. Forward DJT, stop leave to KN4 OKY. Okay, City, thanks.
He may have turned his antenna. It's more likely that the conditions are changing. These conditions change rapidly. They build this map using APRS data, automated packet radio system. And all these automated packet radios send messages back and forth to each other. And when they can hear a station that's unusually far away, it gets put on the PSK reporter map or the VHF DX view map, depending on which band it is. Here, I'm going to put it, this is the link to the map. As I always do with you guys, I always give you all the links. There's no secrets here. If there's ever a link you want to a video or a link to to something I'm showing on here or whatever, by God, you just let me know and I will take care of that. All right, and that's cool. You mean why Oscar when it comes to the phonetics? The phonetics were designed to be words that sound completely different from each other. It's the same reason why air traffic control has a special name for every airline, like Speedbird or Cactus, for instance. The reason they do that is because those words don't sound like any of the other words. It's the same thing with Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Echo, Foxtrot, Delta, Golf. When you listen to those, none of them sound the same. If you say E or Z or D, they all kind of sound the same. But if you say Delta, Echo, Zulu, those all sound very different. If you listen to ham radio guys, they'll call Z, they won't call it Z, they'll call it Z, QRZ. And the reason is because Z and E and several other letters sound almost identical on the radio. And so that's why the phonetics are important. Now, a lot of people don't use standard phonetics. And I'm going to tell you, I do like standardization. I wish people would use the standard phonetics. There's 5 different sets of phonetics out there. There's there's the ones that are used in California. That's A. Adam, B. Boy, C. Charles, D. David, E. Echo, F. Frank.
I'm listening to
Those are used out in California.
Going on down there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right now as we speak.
He's listening. Oh my, this is incredible, this opening. And it's getting bigger. I want you guys to notice it's getting bigger. That's absolutely incredible. So anyway, what they do is if you're out in LA, you're going to use the LA system. Most everybody else in the country uses the one the military uses, which is very similar to the one that the ARRL approved, very similar to the one that everybody uses, and that's Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta Echo Foxtrot Golf. And that's your standard phonetics. They call it phonetic spelling. And then when we give our call signs, we will use these standard phonetic spelling. I will say this is Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Foxtrot Sierra. I know to someone that's doesn't know what they're listening to, it sounds confusing and it sounds like a mess. But I can pick these out when I'm doing POTA. I can barely hear that person. But when he goes Echo, Foxtrot, Bravo, Sierra, 2, Niner, I can hear that. I can hear it through the noise and through the static. And so that's why it's done that way. Could you imagine if we didn't have phonetics? Did you say E or Z or Lee, the G, C? No, E. It's terrible, okay? Terrible. So we have to use the phonetics. Now, there is also what I call the off-brand phonetics. And these are the ones used by your contesters. And that is A, Asia, B, Bahrain. I don't know. They use country names. I don't like it. I don't. And then there's also other guys yet still that have their own that they like to use. The problem is, if you don't use the standard ones, they are not as effective. They're still more effective than just using the alphabet. If you tell me J, Japan, that does help me. I know you said J because I heard you say Japan. But it's much better when you say Juliet because I know that one. That's the one that everybody uses for J. And there's no other word in the phonetics that sounds the same, and that's important. So but that's why that's done. Charles, there you go. No, it has not reached over to Texas. It hasn't quite made Texas yet. It's right on the border with Texas. I mean, you're close. I got it turned down. They're pretty far away, so the static is building up. But I think I love band openings. See, 6-meter band openings on the Magic Band, 2-meter band openings on the tropospheric ducting, and then of course HF band openings on the ionosphere. They're all a lot of fun. They really are a lot of fun. Kitty, you're gonna need to stop. You're getting a little crazy up here, a little rambunctious, okay? You're getting a little rambunctious here. She's getting crazy. She's attacking me. She's getting crazy up here. All right, let's hit this. There we go. There we go. All right. Well, anyway, guys, my name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures, and we are now coming into our second hour of broadcasting tonight. This show is called The Sights and Sounds of Earth, and we broadcast live every night right here at 9 p.m. Eastern from our studio. This is my little studio I built in my backyard, if you will. And we broadcast on a bunch of different channels, 2 different channels and a bunch of different streams. And we send out all kinds of different things. You can check it out. Everything on this channel is hosted. Everything on Starship After Dark is not hosted. It's scanner feeds and static stuff and ham radio things and all that kind of good stuff. All right, so you can see the studio here. We broadcast on up to 9 feeds at one time, and we now have a fully functioning remote rig now with remote pan tilt zoom cameras and everything else, and we're going to be covering a lot of really cool stuff coming up. So I hope you guys enjoy it. But this is Starship Adventures. We're coming into our second hour, and what we're covering tonight mostly is this crazy band opening that's going on right now in the southeastern United States. And a crazy band opening it is. You do see these from time to time, but I have to admit this is a pretty good one right here that's going on. Our current solar information, we have a solar flux index of 209, and currently our K index is 4, and what that means is our geomagnetic field is currently fairly active, meaning that HF communication probably a little bit difficult. Currently showing all the bands as being closed, although, as you know, they're never really closed. So there you go. But it would be a challenge tonight if you want to try to do anything like that. Okay, so then the next thing we've got watching radar Omega. We've got a storm system coming up through out of Texas into Louisiana, and some pretty heavy rain down here. They do have a general thunderstorm outlook for this area, but nothing that looks like it's going to get severe or strong. The only cameras we have down here basically just showing rain. And there you go. Lots and lots of rain. There you go, you guys. And, yeah. Not a lot of rain out there right now. I'll tell you what, we can use it down here. We're looking at drought conditions in Florida right now, and wells are going dry, and it is not fun for some folks down here right now. So there you go. And again, we are watching this humongi band opening right now. What this means, this represents 2 meters, which is VHF. And if you know the frequencies, VHF is like 146 megahertz. Yeah, stay in line or I'll release the kittens. Well, there you go. Like I said, I'm monitoring. If you're going to try to call me, I'll turn the squelch down because I got it up a little bit so I'm not hearing the faraway stations. Yeah. Yeah, Dom, it's more the frontal systems that cause these thermal imbalances and these thermal layers and stuff. That's normally what affects. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess loosely it's the same storm systems, but it's not as much the rain, the clouds, the lightning, the wind. That doesn't really affect it. What's affecting it is the cool areas, warm, cool layers of atmosphere, basically. Oh, hey, Heath. Oh, let me see. I'm listening, Heath. If you want to give it a shot, I got the squelch down and the volume up. It would help if I had a Yagi, but I don't. My Yagi is turned flat and it's on sideband. It's horizontal, five element horizontal, 2 meter Yagi on sideband. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to keep this up enough that we can hear if someone close calls. And you guys let me know if someone else wants to give it a shot. And thank you, everybody that's coming in tonight. We got a little bit of a crowd coming in. I appreciate that. And yeah, again, we're looking at this huge band opening right now. And I'm not going to say it's very rare. Hello?
Did you get the 6 meter frequency they spawned to?
Oh, they're going to 6 meter.
I thought he said 50.170, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's noisy. I just barely hear him once in a while.
50.170. You guys remember that? 50.170.
Pretty sure that's what I heard. 50.170 K0TD.
No, thanks. Kilo 4, Alpha Delta Radio.
50.170.
Roger, roger. I'm in Naples, Florida, southwest Florida. The name here is AD, the initials Alpha Delta, located in Naples, running about 65 watts.
So what they're doing is they're going to 50.170. If anybody's got that capability.
I'm on a 5 element quad, there's about 40 feet.
Yeah, Heath, that's quite a trip, buddy, but we'll you know. I'm hearing that guy in Alabama a while back. He was crystal clear for it comes and it goes.
If you listen, they'll probably check in.
All right. So yeah, that's what we're doing tonight, guys. We're keeping up with this. If anybody's got 6 meter capability, try 50.170. That's going to be upper sideband. Yes, the map is still expanding. We're moving into eastern Texas at this point. This is a fairly rare phenomenon. Maybe about once a month or once every couple of months, something like this will happen. But it's not every day. And you know, sometimes I keep this up. If I've got, like now that I've got my 2 meter rig back up, I'll throw this on my little screen over here. And when I see this happen, I get on there and start calling and I start making contacts. I've got my 6 meter beam up there, but I don't have it ready to be hooked up over at the radio over here. If I knew this is what we'd be doing tonight, I'd be a little more prepared. Right before we went live, I got this radio hooked up over here. Okay, I think what we'll do is we're going to keep monitoring all this, but I do have a couple things that I did want to cover with you guys. So let me get this over here and get this back over here. There we go. Okay, all right, so let me figure this out. Okay, so I wanted to tell you guys, we are, as you guys know, we're pretty much in the age of disclosure right now when it comes to UFOs. And I think it's important to recognize that. It's funny because a lot of people are not they're not really thinking about it, or they're not having anything to think about with this new UFO thing. They just like, oh, okay, whatever. Because they've been lied to for so long that now it's like they don't believe the government. They never have believed the government. And now the government's telling them, hey, these UFOs are real. We've been lying to you all along. And the people are like, oh, well, I think you're still lying to me now. And it's like, it's that blase. It's like, no big deal. No big deal. It's no big deal, really. It's not. It's just UFOs. And I said this on the air tonight on my other channel, on the commercial radio that I produce. I said, you know something? I said, I think a lot of people are afraid of what they see, and so they deny it. A lot of people, oh, no. They deny it. Why do they deny it? Because they're afraid of it. It's scary. These things are moving at incredible speeds. Daddy, what are you doing? These things are moving at incredible speeds. There's no way we could ever move at these speeds. And so if we can't move at these speeds, they say, well, why can't we move at these speeds? Inertial dampening. We haven't developed it yet. We haven't developed weightlessness. We cannot make artificial gravity. We cannot pretend fake forces on the body. The only way that you can accelerate really rapidly and turn corners really fast is to have what they call inertial dampening. This is something that Gene Roddenberry knew early on. He talked to scientists and asked them, how would this have to work in order for us to accelerate to the speed of light? And the scientists said, you would have to be able to apply as much force to the body from the front of the ship as inertia is providing to the body, trying to take it towards the back of the ship. And so basically, the front of the ship pulls you forward at the exact same rate as the back of the ship is pulling you backwards as it takes off at warp speed. Therefore, with inertial dampening, that's why the Enterprise never had seat belts. They still flew out anyway. I don't know. Whatever. The point is there's a good episode on tonight too on H&I. For those of you who watch H&I, the episode tonight, you can see it there. This is the episode Trials and Tribulations. This is the Deep Space Nine episode where they go back to the trouble with tribbles. And there's O'Brien and Dr. Bashir. Thanks for resetting my radio. Now go away. There's Bashir and O'Brien in TOS uniforms there. This is a wonderful episode. Art Bell was an amazing guy. I love Art Bell. All right, guys, we are live. This is Starship Studios in Southwest Florida, and we are live. You are watching on YouTube worldwide over fiber optic, and we are broadcasting from my personal studios here at the Starship Studios. So there you go. Let's see here. We've got yes, Art Bell. I want to say part of the reason I got into the paranormal and even partially into broadcasting is Art Bell. I loved his show. We used to listen to him in the fire truck on the way back to the station in the middle of the night after the call. We literally had a boombox in there, and we would listen to Art Bell on what used to be 1240, 1270 Wink News Radio. And he was amazing. I followed him all through his exploits and his wife dying and him finding somebody years later in Manila in the Philippines. I was listening the night that he went through the hurricane. I was listening the night that the guy called in the plane over Area 51. Yes, my history goes way back with Art Bell. I was a Coast Insider for years. They called it something else back then. But I used to download the episodes and listen to them. And I didn't catch it live all the time, but I was working midnight shift for a long time there, and I was listening to it live. But then when I went off midnight shift, I started paying for it so I could download it because I still had to have my fix. He's great. Yeah, now I will tell you, I think George Norrie's great as well. I do believe Art Bell was special in a special way, but the guy that came after him, George Norrie, I think is really good as well. 77.0 Art Bell, baby. Yep, live from the desert, the Pahrump, Nevada. He used to broadcast. He started on his own tower with his own call letters and worked his way up to syndication. Finally worked his way to 600 radio stations across 20-something different countries. It's incredible when you think about it. Coast to Coast is an absolute phenomenon. Yeah, I never had a chance to speak to Art, but I did a 14-minute interview with George Norrie on my radio show at the station. And we got the opportunity to interview George, and they let me do it. I'm the producer, I'm not the host. I still do a lot of talking on the air, but my host does most of the talking. But in this particular case, I went into the studio and sat down and I did the interview with George because they just knew how much I loved him, and so it was really cool. They do have some of the best bumper music. I have certain songs in my playlist now that are obscure, strange songs, but I like them because they're coast to coast bumper music, you know. And Year of the Cat, for instance, I just love that song. That always brings me back to, Midnight in the Desert, which is another good song that was written for Art Bell called Midnight in the Desert. You can check that out. Yeah. Let's see. Yep, I'm a huge fan of Coast. I really love Coast. And I was listening the night Art Bell died. George came out and said that they're getting some information in and they can't verify it, but to please stay tuned that there was some news coming out, and we kind of knew he was in bad health, and I don't know, it flashed in my brain, Art's dead. I just like that, the way he said it, I could tell his voice. He's interviewing this guy about, I don't know, masks or ghosts or some shit, I don't know. And all of a sudden Art Bell's demeanor changed. He was like, oh, you could just tell he was different. And when he called it, he goes, I'm working to verify some disturbing news. I'll let you know when we get back, as soon as I can let you know. And he let the guest go, and then when he came back, he made the announcement that Art Bell had in fact died. Oh yes, the Disturbed Sound of Silence is a great cover. I love the original Simon and Garfunkel, don't get me wrong. Okay, look, I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. Okay, that song, some of you might have been in my live about 2 months ago when I was live driving on McGregor Boulevard, but there's a sign, and it always, Cat, I need to be able to mouse. If I can't mouse, I can't do the show. Every time I go to mouse, he rubs down on my hand because he wants me to pet him, and I can't do the mouse that way. All right, so I want to show you guys a picture of something. So what ended up happening was, anytime I hear that song, it brings me back to this certain place.
Yeah, I guess we lost a 2-meter open. K4ADR.
Okay, so... Oh, God, hold on. Give me a second. I gotta set it up.
WO4, Foxtrot Charlie, go ahead. Somebody's real weak. Yeah, I got the 50.170 turned on over there. I'm sure nothing there either. It's kind of flat.
Okay, so here's the story. On McGregor Boulevard, there's a sign. And we were driving down one night, going to the Chinese restaurant. And my mom and my dad and I and my brother. And we're just riding along. And we passed this green sign.
I didn't get his call, but I heard him.
This green sign. I asked my mom. I said, Mom, what's with that green sign? God is love. What's that mean? And my mom turned around over the seat and looked back at me. I was sitting behind my dad, who was driving. My mom turned around. I still remember this to the day. This happened 47 years ago. She turned around and she looked at me and she says, that sign says everything you need to know. And I just looked at her and she says, if you love, you're godlike. If you hate, then you're far away from God. So what that sign means is, if you're all love, then you're like God. You are literally, you've got it. You figured it out. The energy is all good. And she explained to me that night a fundamental fact. It was so important that whether you call it love or God or karma or whatever, I don't care what you call it, it's the desire to do good for others. That's all. That's the bottom line. That's what this sign means. It means that if you want to be like God, then you need to love. When you are in love and you are with love and you feel love, whether it's for an animal or a hobby or your wife or whatever it is, your kids, anytime you feel a love for something, that's what God wants you. That's what He intended. That's like God. You're being the best person you can be. And when you're hating and you're angry and you're upset, and trust me, I suffer with this. I have to work on this just like the rest of us do. Daddy Kitty really doesn't. He never gets angry. But I do every now and then. But when you're angry and you're upset and you don't have love in your heart, you don't have Jesus in your heart, you don't have God in your heart, that's the farthest thing you can be from where you want to be. And that's what that sign means. And so every time I hear that sign, that song, and I listen to the words, the sound of silence, you know, they stared up at their green sign, their green neon sign. It's in the song. Every time I hear that song, it brings me back to that night on McGregor Boulevard, driving past that sign on the way to the Happy Buddha Chinese restaurant. And yeah, the Happy Buddha is still there, but it's some kind of bar now. Anyway, the point is that sign is special to me. It's been special to me. It's been special to me my whole life. And the reason it's been special to me is because that sign's been burning longer than I've been alive. It was placed there by a man. His name is George Grusbeck. And he placed that sign there to tell you the message. Not because there was a church, not to tell you to repent or beware, but to just simply say, God is love. This sign has 3 words on it, and it says everything you ever need to know. It's the answer to the question. It's the key to the universe. God is love. And so there's something about that song, The Sound of Silence. I love that song, and I love the remix. But there's something about that song that brings me back to that night on McGregor Boulevard where my mom explained to me what this sign means and why this sign's important to all of us in our lives. It's everything you need to know. You can be any religion in the world. You can be an agnostic. Not sure if it works with atheists. But whatever you are out there, whatever you believe, whatever you're having a hard time believing, whatever you want to believe, there's one universal truth, and that's that God is about love. Love is God. God is love. And I feel very strongly about this. And so I just wanted to show you guys this tonight and tell you why that song, that Simon and Garfunkel song, and I would play right now if YouTube would allow me. But why that song is so important to me, because it brings me back to this sign and that night with my mom and dad in the car. So anyway, that's it. That's my deep thoughts with Jack Handy moment for tonight. I hope I did good. I'm not good at talking about religion and God and things like that, but I try because I think it's important. That's interesting about Dick Van Dyke. That's very interesting. I often wonder why Bill Shatner is still alive, but I figured it out. Him and George Takei, neither one of them are going to die first. They're almost all gone, except George Takei and Bill Shatner. They're almost all gone. I think Walter Koenig is left, a couple of the seconds. They're almost all gone, and but those last two, Bill Shatner's got to be almost 100. There's nothing left for him to do but die or run for president. And but I don't think he'll die. He won't die ahead of George Takei. I'm telling you, Bill Shatner will live to be 120 if George Takei lives to be 119. I'm telling you, you can mark my words on that. The Sounds of Silence. I love that. Yep. Have you guys ever seen these God, what's it called? I think we talked about this a while back, but they did The Sound of Silence, where one person, and they're in a shopping mall, and one guy pulls out an instrument and starts playing, and then another guy over there starts playing, and then finally somebody with a microphone will start singing, and they call it a crowd something. I keep wanting to say crowdfunding, but that's not it. Like a crowd blitz or something. But basically, I saw one for Stairway to Heaven. It was amazing. It was amazing. Oh God, Wish You Were Here. I cried all the way through it. I'll admit it. I'm a man. Whatever. You can have a penis and cry. You know that, right? But yeah, oh man, they did The Sound of Silence. Wish You Were Here. The whole crowd starts singing Wish You Were Here, and they're all holding the pictures of their loved ones. Woo, man, it'll do you. A little dabble do you. All right. Flash mob. It just came to me. Type flash mob, Wish You Were Here, and I bet you it comes up. I can't play it on here. They won't let me. I'll get in trouble. You guys know Pink Floyd's one of my favorite bands of all time. think this is it. I'm gonna get the link for you. Yeah, this is it. Guys, I can't play it. They won't let me play it. But here's the link. I'm gonna sign off here in just a few minutes, and you guys watch this. And then if you like it, type in Flash Mob music. Stairway to Heaven's another good one that they did. But there's a bunch of these. I think they're fun. Yeah, damn, Junior, you and I are quite alike on a lot of things, Junior. I love Pink Floyd. It is by far the absolute best. Best band, one of the best bands at a time. Led Zeppelin's the other one I really like. You know, both of those bands respectively each had hundreds and hundreds of songs, and many of them made the top 40. It's kind of amazing. Yeah, Sound of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel, or that remix we talked about. I love that remix. Oh, I love Jethro Tull. Aqualung, you kidding me? Oh, I love Jethro Tull. A little weird, but whatever, it's good. I love rock and roll flute. I love rock and roll woodwinds. I love rock and roll big brass. I'm a band guy. I played in the band. I love the band. My trumpet's right over there. I'm no good at it. That's why I'm doing this. Look, if I could make music and make money, I would make music. I love making music. I can't make music. I suck at it. But yeah, look up those Flash Mobs. And some of them are really, really good. Oh, there's a rendition of Hallelujah that's really good. Carlotta likes that one. I listened to that with her. She likes that. Really good. It is good. There you go. You were the roadie. Well, there you go. Floyd is a band where you can listen to the whole album. And I'm going to surprise you. As much as I like A Brick in the Wall and I like Wish You Were Here, I love, some of these are just the best songs. But my favorite song, I think, is Shine On Crazy Diamonds. They play for like 16 minutes before he bothers to sing. I mean, it's like the whole back of one of the albums. I love Shine On Crazy Diamonds. They've got some great back songs, good stuff. I'm the same way with Led Zeppelin. My favorite song is not Stairway to Heaven like everybody else. I love No Quarter. No Quarter is by far my favorite Led Zeppelin song. What a haunting song. It's a beautiful song. Yeah, yeah. You know, I would still, if I could do roadie work, I would do a season. Just for the experience. Not that I expect anything other than just to be the roadie. But yeah, that would be fun. The way I love equipment and the way I do sound systems and everything else, I would love to be the roadie. I'd love to try it out. Unfortunately, with my back injuries and everything, I wouldn't be able to do it at my age or with my injuries. The Doors is great. The Who is great. Yeah, I like a lot of blues. I like a lot of rock blues. Man, I love a lot of different music. I love Metallica. Are you kidding me? You know, everybody thinks they're this big hard-ass band. They've got some of the best rock songs out there. Time by Pink Floyd, amazing. Yep. Moody Blues. I love the Moody Blues.
Inverness, yeah. Copy. Yeah, you're a good signal, 5.9. A little bit of static, but perfect.
No, don't forget the Who. Rush. I like Rush.
Sorry, man. Yeah, I don't want to hawk the band, but
yeah, Comfortably Numb is one of my favorite Pink Floyd songs, along with Wish You Were Here, Shine On Crazy Diamonds. It's not the brick in the wall stuff those are good songs. Those 3 or 4 groups of songs there, but I prefer the other ones I just mentioned. And Time is good too.
Yeah, hopefully. I wish I was retired someday.
There's a lot of great music out there. And you know what's funny? They don't call our music classic rock anymore. Classic rock is like late 80s, 90s, 2000s. The stuff we listen to, we're talking late 60s, 70s, early half of the 80s. All that's considered oldies now. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. We're all showing our age. Hey, Car, how's it going? Yeah.
I don't know if he's still there. The Gulfport, Mississippi station, the Pinelander. Do you copy KA1WBE south of Tampa?
Hey, Car, if OVZ's around, let him know that there's a huge, humongous band opening going on right now. And when I say it's huge and humongous, I mean it's big.
About a 5.7 signal here. And it's KA1WBE.
Here's what it looks like on the side screen. Let me crap.
Yeah, you're full gliding here too. But the band's wild.
I'm listening to someone in Alabama right now talk to someone in Mississippi, I think, or some shit. This is crazy. Yeah, there's a huge band opening right now. You can see it right there on the map I'm showing you.
All right, we'll break with you and let you go. 7-3. Just want to say hi to Van Dan. I run into Van quite a bit on the radio here. We're not that close, but if there's any kind of, well, Van, we talked on HF, so where you been hanging out on HF, Van?
Yeah, it is wide the hell open. -2. Oh my God. I think it's 60 degrees outside here. 62.
Yeah, that's where Mac, we talked to Mac earlier.
Well, I would love to see a little snow down here, but the truth is, it would devastate our entire agricultural industry and damage our cattle industry. So yes, I'm not wanting snow down here.
Real strong here, but I copied it. That's the way it works on Trovo.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's just around 60 here. It's not even that cold here.
Yep, I hear you. Now, I don't want to tie it up. I just want to say hello.
So anyway, the only other thing I wanted to mention tonight, I'm getting ready to sign off. We're at 1 hour and 44 minutes. I do appreciate everybody coming in. We did make some, for those joined us late, we did make some contacts earlier on 2-meter call. And we were trying to contact, I couldn't get through the pileup, but we were listening to a station in Alabama that was coming in like he was sitting next to me on a radio that's not supposed to go more than about 25 or 35 miles. So I want to show you guys something that I think is going to be important to understand. I can't find the damn mouse. Jesus. All right, so let me pull up something here that would help me illustrate this.
All right, yeah. I got my 80-meter antenna back up. And the 40-meter antenna, that never came down during the hurricanes with the 80-meter. It wasn't the antenna came down because the tree limbs came down, but I went up there and rearranged everything and put the 80-meter antenna back up again, and it's working good.
Okay, so what I want to explain basically what we're talking about here. When we talk about a line of sight radio communication, what we're basically talking about is we're talking about
Right in Hood, Florida, it's going to be clear, 7-3.
let me put this up here. Okay, give me just a second. Let me get this dialed in. If this was the only show I produced, I would be a little more prepared. But it is what it is. Okay, so I've got a few pictures here. They're not so bad. I want to be able to show you guys how VHF propagation works, because why is it that one band goes over the horizon and the other one doesn't? Well, I'm going to explain it. On this example right here, you can see that if this, my tower site on the left side over here is transmitting out along the Earth, and I'm talking to this transmitter site over here that's maybe 100 miles away. But notice that the Earth actually comes up between us. These radios use direct line of sight. So if you use direct line of sight and the Earth comes up between you, then it disrupts what you're trying to do, basically. Just do what I need you to do. My God, not worth it sometimes. All right, so here you go. This is the curvature of the Earth, and you can see there that the range, the basic range of the antenna is how far you can be. You here can be from the receiving source without the Earth coming up in between you guys. You see that? Now, normally, if you're at 40 feet and I'm at 40 feet, we can probably be about 30 or 40 miles away, 50 miles away. We can be pretty far away. The thing is, a lot of times people are a lot closer. They're further down than that. It's a vehicle-mounted antenna or a portable radio or whatever, and that significantly reduces your distance because you can't get over the hump of the Earth. Even water does this. You know, when you look across a lake, you can see the other side. Even if it's pretty far away, if you get binoculars, you can see the other side. Do you know Lake Okeechobee? When you go to Lake Okeechobee and when you go to any of the Great Lakes, when you look across the lake, what do you see? You can use a telescope. What do you see? Water. It looks like the ocean. You want to know why? Because the water comes up between you and the other side of the lake. The water is like a dome in the lake because of the curvature of the Earth. The water curves with the Earth just like the land does. And so if you're trying to talk, if you're down low and the other person's down low, you're not going to be able to talk very far unless you have help from the atmosphere. If the atmosphere helps you, now you can talk further. Let me see if I can find another. Let me clear this. Okay, so looking at this graphic here, if let's say we put an antenna right here. Wow, that's a big antenna. Let's get rid of that. Let's say we put an antenna right here. We're gonna put an antenna, okay? And we're gonna send out a signal. But that signal goes through the Earth and it goes away. It's gone. VHF signals don't bend around corners. So it's not going to go like that. Not really. Now, you will get some sliding over the top of stuff. They call it like glancing it off the rooftops. You can do some of that. But for the most part, if your tower is 40 foot tall and the guy you're talking to is only 10 foot tall and he's right there, he's below the horizon. You see that? This is the horizon. He's below the horizon, which means that the only way he will ever hear you on VHF is if he's having an opening or some help from the tropospheric ducting. So it's the actual Earth that obstructs. When people start with the whole flat Earth bullshit, I tell them right away, look, right here. This proves right here that whole flat Earth thing is bullshit. Because if flat Earth was flat Earth, guess what? You could talk on a VHF radio and you could talk to somebody that's 1,000 miles away. You could dump 1,500 watts of power into it and you could talk to Nebraska. But you can't do that. Why? Why? Because the Earth comes up between here and there.
Naples, you're making it up to Bradenton, K1WBE in Bradenton. WBE, you're full slow here. Yeah, you're coming in good yourself here. Yep, the band's wide open.
Yeah, there. Thanks for the math, Deploribus.
Yeah, I think it was all talked out.
Yeah, there's ways to figure it. You can see there, but this is how you can literally prove. You can shoot. You can take a laser and put it 5 feet above the ground, and shoot it straight down, and a mile away or wherever down the road, that laser will touch the Earth, because the Earth will eventually come up, and will come up above the line that you set it on. I can literally take a laser beam and prove that the Earth is round. I could take a VHF radio and a directional antenna and prove that the Earth is round. I can also look at all the pictures we've taken over the years too.
Yep, me too. I got my tickets, I got my spaces reserved, I'm ready to roll.
When we talk, nice going, Dad. Jeez, always knocking shit off.
This is K1WBE, yeah, you're 5'9" here, boy, just 6.
Yo, hey, the 5'9" over here.
I worked in Arkansas on 2-meter sideband earlier this evening.
Oh my God, he talked Florida to Arkansas earlier. I normally call it Arkansas because, I mean,
Really?
you know, come on, spell it right. So anyway, with this whole Earth curvature effect that goes on, basically what we're experiencing here is rare because it requires a special thing to happen, a thermal layer basically to set up in the atmosphere. And for it to go this long and this far, pretty unusual. And now I'm just now seeing an opening coming up. Let's back out here. Look at this, starting to see an opening coming up in Texas now. Opening up from down in Mexico all the way up to near San Antonio. Getting a few other ones popping up too. There's an opening right there into Canada out of Pennsylvania. This is a hell of an opening. I mean, look at these. Wow. No, NASA would never lie, right? That's why it takes them 30 days to release pictures. Yes, the Earth is round. Yes, public education's been dropping them all for a while. It's kind of weather related. It's thermal layering in the atmosphere. So the same thing that causes the weather causes the phenomenon, I guess. It could be somewhat related, a little bit of space weather. Although space weather doesn't generally affect VHF that much. This is more of a lower down phenomenon. Even the 6 meters is not affected that much by solar. That's more of a seasonal phenomenon. a summer thing with those reflective clouds that come around. So yeah, everything's different. I love when 2 meter opens up like this. What's weird though is when it does this, it also does this on FM band, on commercial FM. And like right now, I bet you right now, because on the way home, I knew this was going on. You want to know how I knew it was going on? On the way home, I listened to Spanish music on the way home instead of my radio station, because the signal was being pushed south, and I was picking up Maxima 92.5 out of St. Petersburg. Yeah, so VHF's a little high frequency for sporadic E. Sporadic E is the magic band we've been talking about. That's more of a 6 meter, 10 meter thing. This is tropospheric ducting, and as a matter of fact, I can see here. Oh, thanks for joining the crew, Hope. I appreciate it. Welcome aboard. We're on every night at 9 o'clock. Okay, here. Oh yeah, we got big ducting right now. Okay, so I've got the tropospheric ducting map, and I'm going to have it all set up here to where I can go to that quickly now. I know it's not centered up. This is the best it gets, but here we go. This is the tropospheric ducting map, and this will show you right now that you can see there the peninsula of Florida. You can see that whole area. Hey, Florida guy, Fly Guy, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the crew. Welcome aboard. You can see that whole area there of Louisiana all the way to South Carolina down through Florida. You can see that it's all tropospheric ducting. That's what's causing this. All right, so you're probably wondering, how do I get that map? Well, as always, there's the link. Yeah, get your tech license. You can also get a GMRS license. You can get that tomorrow for 35 bucks, no test. Then get the ham app, get one of these ham apps, and just study the question and the right answer. Question, right answer, question, right answer. And do it about 5 or 6 times and go down and just take the test. It's no big deal. They give you the question and the answers. Don't study the letter. The order of the answers are different. Study the text of the question and only read the text of the right answer. If you do every one of them 3 or 4 times, when you go sit down for the test, you will pass it. Yeah, Car got her GMRS not long ago. Get your GMRS license. It is $35. It lasts for 10 years, and there's no test. Very little qualifications. Almost everybody qualifies. And that GMRS license, you can hand a radio to your wife or your family member, and it's legal. Unlike ham radio, which you can't do that with. And GMRS channels can be programmed into any of these $10, $20, $40 Bofings that we're always talking about. Any one of these radios that we keep going on and on about how cheap and amazing they are, any one of these can, and every one of mine has every GMRS channel programmed into it. And then you can even program yourself a channel for yourself that has a private PL tone and different things like that. So it's pretty cool. But if you're going to get in the radio, I'd go ahead and nail that GMRS right now so you can get on the air. Go ahead and get your radio. If you're going to buy a new radio, I would suggest the UV17. Where's it at? I think it might be in the car. Did I leave it in the car, Kitty? I think I left it in the car. I suggest that new one I just got. I really, really like it. It's the UV32. If you guys look at Baofeng, if it says UV, that stands for UHF, VHF. If it's DT, I think it's digital. We just learned that the other night. But yeah. The UV25 is a great, huge, big radio if you're into big radios. The UV17R is a nice, smaller radio. Lots of different radios, but like I said, right now that UV32 I think is a really, really nice radio. If you want something a little more rugged, the UV25, it's got the protector thing on it's all metal, protector thing on the knob, and it's designed for for mountain climbers and shit. The UV32 is really nice, but it's not quite as rugged as the 25. Which a link to what? The UV17. Hold on, let me see what I got here. All right, let's see here. Let me find what I can find here for the links. Okay, the UV32. Now, I put these links in for you guys. Boy, the 17R is down to 18 bucks. Jesus. That's a nice little radio, too. If you want, take the link and look at the radio. But if maybe you want a red one or an orange one or a different color, or maybe you want one that has different accessories or comes with a programming cable, look around. Don't just buy the first one you find. You'll find one for 30 bucks and you'll like it, and then in a few minutes you'll find one that's $3 less and it comes with a programming cable and a second antenna, and you'll be like, man, I'm glad I didn't buy that first one. Look around a little bit. You can actually do pretty good with some of these bundle deals. If you are looking, if you're going to get GMRS so that you and your wife can have radios when you go camping, I strongly suggest buying a pair of radios. When you buy them in pairs, you get the second one about half price.
Yeah, he's made an opening tonight for 2 meters. We've been hearing stations all over the southeast all night. Did you say you're in South Tampa right now? You are coming in loud and clear.
Oh my God. Okay, here's an example. Here's the UV25. Here's a 2-pack of UV25s. That's 2 of these radios. It comes with 2 radios, 2 batteries, 4 antennas. It comes with the folding antenna and it comes with the snorkel antenna for each radio. It comes with charging cables. It comes with everything you need right there. And it's a 2-pack, meaning that you get 2 radios for $70. That's really a good deal for that one. I want to look for one that's a good deal on a single one here. I like to find one with the programming cable, because that programming cable, all these radios I'm giving you guys, they all take the same programming cable. And these little cheap breast mics that come with them, they're garbage. Don't worry about those. If it comes with them, fine, but don't worry about the breast mics. If you want a mic, buy the $10 mic and get a good one. Those little cheap ones are terrible. I don't care, you know. Some of them come with the mic. Okay, here we go. This one's a green one. Has the programming cable, $63. Comes with the tactical antenna, the snorkel antenna. Oh, this one comes with the mini antenna too. So, I mean, and it comes with a little cheap mic. It comes with the earpieces. It comes with the pouch to carry it in. It comes with the USB charging cable, the strap. It comes with a little micro antenna. So it comes with 3 different antennas. And the whole thing out the door is $63. Not a bad deal. That's not a bad deal right there. But you can find better if you look around. That's for a green one. You might not want a green one. They also have them in desert camo now. The Baofeng. Are you about done stretching?
I think you were talking to Sean earlier. I'll let you guys talk again, or listen to some other stations.
I find them in here as cheap as $48. This one also comes with 2 different antennas, but it doesn't have the programming cable. So, you know, you might want to get one that has the programming, or you'll need to order a programming cable. They're like $6 or $8. I bought me a red one. They look like this. They got the 2 little plugs. They plug into the microphone plug on the side, and that's how you program your radio. Yes, it does GMRS, FRS, MURS. It does ham radio. It does receive only on airband AM. It also does. It also transmits and receives on business band, government band, fire, EMS, police band. It's an amazing thing. You got to be careful with it, even. Yeah, there's clubs in your area that do GMRS. There's repeaters that you can get on. I'm not recommending GMRS over ham. I'm saying do both, but you can do the GMRS right away. Yes, Marine, absolutely. You can program the entire Marine band. When you program these, the program you use is called Chirp. And there's a lot of more expensive options out there, but Chirp works absolutely wonderful. And what Chirp does is, no, we'll do that later. Let me show you here. And of course I got to reset the window again.
So man is definitely on fire. So I will go ahead and take a step back. I didn't get all that frequency. You said 146, 590, and then I went to radio reference, looking at all.
Okay, just give me a second here.
I can always really get into 146, 730, around clear over.
You know how it is. I gotta, every time I pull up a new program or something, I gotta reset everything. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys how easy this is, and I've showed this a couple times already. I'm sorry if you've already seen it. I'm already over time here, so you're on bonus time at this point. Yeah, Kitty, I'm real busy. Okay, so here's chirp, okay, and let me see if I can stretch it up some more so you can see the menuing. I changed my mind. Let me do it this way so you guys can see it better. Yeah, this is better. Okay. All right, so there we go. There we go. Okay, so this is Chirp, okay? You download this, it's free, okay? It doesn't cost a thing. When you get your radio, you plug this into your radio, you turn the radio on about halfway on the volume with this plugged into your computer. That's all there is to it. You're going to come in here and you're going to download the radio, download from radio. Here we go. I've hooked it up to my 25. It's found my USB driver. There it is. You got to set it for the right COM port. And then it's a Baofeng. It's a UV25. There we go. Click OK. And look at that. It reads my radio. It reads 1,000 channels in about 6 seconds. There we go. There's everything that's in my radio. There's all my frequencies. There's all the different things. Look at that. There's FRS. There's GMRS. That's all my local amateur radio repeaters. SARnet statewide. Those are all the statewide repeaters all around the whole state. NI4CE system, the ISS, and the reason those are set up that way is Doppler effect. That's for another night. These are all fire dispatch. These are all businesses and schools in my area. These are all different radio systems. And then these are all like the Atlanta repeaters. And then the 600s, these are all like the repeaters up in Blairsville. So you're wondering, how do you get all of these? Oh, there's Marine Band. See, Marine, C1. There's channel 16, your distress channel right there. And so that's all theirs. And again, here's my area here, all the schools and stuff. So it's 1,000 channels. Okay, so now if you want to add something to this, you think you got to type all them little numbers in, but you don't. Watch this. File. Open stock configuration. And then you literally go down. All these down here are US. See, US, US, US. Let's say you want to put in all the NOAA weather radio frequencies. You click that. And there they are. And now all you have to do is select the first one, hold down the shift button, select the last one, and then Control C. And now you can go back over to your radio and you can copy them in right here if that's where you want them. And that's that simple. You didn't have to type a single thing. You got all the NOAA weather channels. That's 10 of them. You can travel all over the country and listen to NOAA weather radio. Yeah, it holds 999 frequencies or pairs. Uh, yeah, and each one can be a frequency or a pair of frequencies. If it's a pair of frequencies, it's because one transmits to the repeater, one listens back. Let's say you want Marine Band. Somebody mentioned Marine Band. Open stock config, U.S. Marine VHF channels. Boom, there they are, right there. It even has the descriptions out here of what they are. Look at this, port operations. Notice 16, international distress safety calling. It's all in here. And you can literally just copy the first one, go all the way down to channel 50, control copy, and now I can put the entire Marine Band radio in my Baofeng. So my Baofeng is not just a Marine radio, it's a GMRS radio, it's an FRS radio, it's an MURS radio, it's an amateur radio, it's a NOAA weather radio. It also picks up commercial FF band. It also picks up aircraft traffic on AM. So, I mean, for $37, why would you not own something like that? And like I said, the 32 is the one I would buy at this point. Really happy with the 32. You can get a pair of 32s in here for $90 with all the advanced accessories. Let's see, they've got them in desert camo, green. Looks like 2 different shades of green. Oh my God, they've got it in clear. Oh, that's cool as F. Oh man. What the hell? Look at this, guys. They've got it in clear. You can see the guts inside. Oh man. Oh, I might just buy one of those just because I want to put some lights inside of it so it glows red. I'll have it to where when you turn it on, the whole thing glows red. Yep, it has GPS, it has a compass. These are something you definitely want in your Go box, you know what I mean? And what's neat about these is they're USB charging. They also have a charging cradle. This is my charging cradle right here. So they got a standard charging cradle that you can just drop it in. They also have the USB plug in the back. No, I do not do digital. I don't like digital. Nope. I'll give you 3 reasons why I don't do digital. Number 1, I think it sounds like shit. DMR is terrible. Yaesu's not much better. The Fusion. D-Star, not much better. Even the P25 and stuff, the newer Motorola stuff, it's still not as clear as analog. And I just don't like it. Number 2, the code plugging, the programming is terrible for digital. Terrible. Terrible. And the 3rd reason I don't get on digital is because it's a million channels on yet another system that nobody's on. I had DMR. It took me over 3.5 weeks to finally get the damn thing to work. When I finally got it working, nobody answered on any of the channels. So it was really stupid. I literally, on the 30th day, I returned it to Amazon and I got my money back. I bought the Baofeng DT1701, I think it was. But I got my money back because I didn't like it. I couldn't find nobody on it. And I found it to be an absolute bitch to program. So no, I don't do any digital voice at all. I'm an analog voice guy. Now, I do digital. I love FT8 and FT4. But other than that, I do voice and I do FT8 and FT4. And that's pretty much, those are my, that's what I do. I don't like CW. I can't do it. I'm dyslexic. It kept me out of ham radio for years. Kind of sour on the whole thing, to be honest with you. And then, and I don't do digital voice. I do analog voice, but I do other digital modes, you know. So, well, I really like that clear one, man. I might buy that. That's pretty cool. They got them in black. I wonder if they got them in red. I'd love a red one. I've got 4 or 5 different red radios, but I don't see this one in red. They've got it in two-tone gray, which is pretty sharp. We're looking at paint swatches for two-way radios that cost 35 bucks. But hey, whatever. And I want to show you guys something. You see this right here? This mic? If you want a good mic, spend the $20, okay? I know it's crazy. I got 4 or 5 of these little cheap ones. I'll give them to you if I see you. I don't use them. They're terrible. They're tinny. They're crappy. The audio both ways is terrible. This particular mic right here, this one right here, not the name but the type. They're $10 to $20. You can find them sometimes cheaper than $20. But you want this one that looks like the police mic. If you find one that looks like this, you're going to be happy with it. It'll be really nice for you. It'll have a really clear sound. Remember, the speaker's in the mic. So if you buy a little teeny cheap piece of shit mic, that's what you're listening through, and that's what you're talking through, and everybody can't hear you, and you can't hear anybody else. It sucks. No, it's not much. No, $20 is nothing for a good mic. Us old timers that have been doing radio a while know how much a good Heil CB mic costs, or something like that. I mean, come on. Yeah, you know, it's kind of one of those things. But for most radios now, even for my Yaesus and stuff, I can get replacement mics for under 50 bucks. Yeah, C4 FM. They were getting into that around here too. The problem with that is you got 20 guys in a room, and you got 2 of them on Yaesu, and 2 of them on DMR, and 2 of them on P25, and 2 of them on that thing system, whatever, and 2 of them on D-Star, and 2 of them on analog. And the thing is, at the end of the day, they'll all talk to each other on analog, because it's the one thing that they'll all have. And so I'm an analog freak. I love analog. And good, look, we're not running out of bandwidth. Bandwidth's not a problem. I'm dyslexic, and the more tired I get, the worse it gets. In the morning, I don't even notice it. I can type letters, and I can do all kinds of stuff, and I don't even really notice it. By the time I'm producing my afternoon show, I have to be careful. I'm starting to reverse numbers and letters, and when I type, I get a bunch of the letters backwards. You know, like the middle. If it's a 4-letter word, I'll get the middle 2 letters backwards if I'm typing real fast. Stuff like that. And it gets bad. By the time I get in this show, I got to be careful when I put stuff, because I'm fatigued, dyslexic at this point, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely something that comes and goes with fatigue. When I'm really tired, like I've been up for 2 or 3 days and something big's going on and it's been terrible, whatever, I get so bad that I can't even dial a telephone. I mean, it literally, I'll have to do it one number at a time and shit like that. It's terrible. So yeah, it's something my brain has been able to overcome as long as I'm 100%. But when I start winding down, it doesn't do so well. That's cool. I did a lot of work with Motorola. I never worked for Motorola, but I was a comms specialist for the county, and we had a guy named Motorola Andy was what we called him. Great guy, and I worked a lot with him. There was 2 or 3 of us that worked for the county, and there was 1 or 2 guys with Motorola, and we would put in systems and move systems and do all kinds of stuff. I was literally there when the P25 system when the first big upgrade happened. Good night, neighbor. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. No, I've never listened to Nino Rodriguez. No, I have not. Not familiar. Yep, definitely go to bed if you got an eye exam tomorrow. All right. Yeah, guys, I'm heading out too. I'm at 2.5 hours. I try to do 2 hours a night, but you guys remember these nights I go 2.5 for those other nights when I can't quite make it. So there you go. All right, I guess we're going to go. Are you going to say goodnight? Come on. Say goodnight. Say goodnight to everybody. Say goodnight. Good night. Just wave your hand a little bit or something. Just make it look like you give a shit. All right, guys. I guess that's about it. I hope everybody has a good night. It's been fun. We're gonna watch this. Remember, the next couple of days, this whole sunspot complex is going to get closer and closer over the next couple of days. Deploribus. Yes and no. Digital systems will do better than analog in some conditions, but then you're correct. It reaches a breaking point where it's just nothing. Where analog, you could still piece it out and get it through. So yeah, you're right. I mean, digital, it's either all or nothing. But when you get all, it sounds clear. But then when it gets bad, it just goes completely out. All right, guys. Well, that's about it. I hope everybody has a good night out there, and you know, I hope you guys. I hope I don't bore you guys with some of these stories that I tell you. But anyway, all right. I guess that's about it. I'm looking at what we're doing this weekend. I believe Saturday I'm doing family stuff. So Sunday I may be going out and doing a drive or something. I'll be letting you guys know as it gets closer. But I'm also planning nightly shows every night. So we're going to keep this thing going. And all that. You going to say goodnight now? Huh? You going to say goodnight? She don't care. And Daddy's over there sound asleep. You see him over there in the corner. He's sound asleep. All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys. I really do. Thank you, everybody, for being here. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures, and this is the Starship Studios in Southwest Florida, broadcasting live on YouTube, the largest broadcast platform in the world, and we are broadcasting over glass all the way to the internet, fiber optic, if you will, and we're doing it every day here, 7 nights a week, starting at 9 p.m. every night for the sights and sounds of Earth, right here again on Starship Adventures. All right, everybody, have a good night out there, and a safe tomorrow, 7/3. We'll see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama Kitty. What you doing? You ready for bed? It's getting late, isn't it, Mom Kitty? Oh, that's good, Kitty. Yeah. I think we'll sign off now. You ready? And 3,